So Fat Man.
So sleazy.
It's gonna be one of those shows, isn't it?
We gotta bomb people. America.
Let's talk about that on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
Welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. First and foremost, we have... Yes, fuck Dave Meltzer. I get confused, and I'm like, oh, cool, sign. Mr. Sign Guide, Bill, your tiebreaker, loser, Grand Puma Father, Heavy Julius Beefcake III, Esquire, DMD is with us today.
What's happening, gentlemen?
And, of course, listening to NXT, which I think...
I got it muted.
I'm hearing something somewhere. I don't know.
It might be my overhead fan.
No, it's somebody talking.
Us.
I don't know.
It
what
might
is.
be Aaron's TV.
Oh, well, either way, the Hall of Famer, the proud papa, the married man, Mr. Ryan Williams is here with us.
Hey, so as I'm scrolling looking for random shit that we're going to talk about, I think I'm starting off this podcast the perfect way. CM Punk tweets out about joining WWE on Fox in November of 2019. Mm-hmm. In the tweet, he says, it is weird trying to catch up on 5+ years of wrestling. I'm doing what I can. There's bright spots, mostly women from what I can talk about. There's bad, too. I'm going to talk about, and no one is safe. Join us and tags Renee Young, WWF Fox, Booker T, Paige, Vince McMahon, and Tony Khan. Tony Khan responds with, no one is safe, ? Sounds like a plane full of wrestlers in Saudi Arabia. November 18th, 2019.
Yikes. How timely.
Yeah, how about it?
World War III started, guys, so let's
talk about wrestling. Dude, we got nothing else better to do, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is one of those episodes where a lot of things are going to be talked about, I'm sure. But let's start with the obvious for those who've been living under a fucking rock. Basically, over the last week or so, U.S. has decided to.
Bob over Baghdad.
I mean, wrong country with the first letter of I. But
and R and A.
I was thinking of signs. I don't know.
Wait, they bombed the IRA? What?
Shit's gone down.
Shit has gone down.
Across the way.
Yeah, and funny enough, there's a show on Friday there.
And Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to review the show at some point too?
maybe we'll actually do something wrestling related. I don't know.
It's going to tie into wrestling coasts.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is that when was that? Sunday night, Monday night? I can't remember the exact day. Iran retaliated and bombed a couple of base, at least one base in Qatar, which is by car 6 hours and 45 minutes away from where Night of Champions is going to be and the night before for SmackDown. There's a lot of issues with what's going on. The situation obviously is developing. It could develop as we're on the air. Right now, as it stands, we're still on for the show.
Let's talk about like we're still on. As of right now, this show is still happening.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it won't happen. The thing is where?
Saudi Arabia.
I don't. I suggest
You
that
can
it probably will.
speculate all you fucking want and turn this into a political drama nonsense.
Yes,
Or-
and that's the plan. But it
Well, so Iran did make a statement saying that they could possibly bomb places in Saudi Arabia. That's also another part of the story too.
So like let's break it off. Let's do a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of politics nonsense. Like we'll talk about a match that's happening, and then we'll talk about some politics that could affect it.
I mean, the politics is going to affect every match. So
Yeah.
I mean,
What's this? Go ahead, get your first match in.
Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes in the King of the Ring tournament final.
well, there's
Assuming
politics
they'll
right
still
there.
no, assuming the fact that they're still alive by the time the match happens.
That's what we're going on. Yeah.
I was going to say, I mean, Cody Rhodes is politicking backstage to win that match. That's
I like that.
the politicking I was going to go towards.
Oh, I was thinking more. I was thinking more along the lines of Orton.
Or hey, I put it in our chat. Nobody's ever gotten to the King of the Ring finals twice and lost both times.
So which one's going to win? The guy who just spent a bunch of time at the Army parade, or the other guy that left the Army under not great terms?
Wasn't he a Marine?
Marine, whatever it is.
I
Armed
honestly-
Forces.
I honestly don't know who is going to win. I assume it's Cody, but part of me, like, Orton Cena again would be cool.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Cody too.
But did you see what Cody said at Fanatics?
No.
I didn't go to New York, sorry.
He said, I'll bring up the quote here. You know, he said he's at the tail end of his run as a babyface. Quote, y'all know because X and Instagram will hate it. Because today, heels are like, oh, that's a cool heel. For loving John Cena. No, if you're burying it and hate it, and that's how you don't want it on your TV, well, that's what an actual bad guy is. I think if you have a good solid year, maybe even 3 years, because I am not changing until I'm changed, if that makes any sense. My hair is naturally dark. I don't know if I can go back, but if The Rock had his way, I would have been changed already. So I
There
think
is-
something maybe I don't see, then that's a very smart individual. So maybe I follow his lead, maybe not. And
That's one hell of a quote.
It's a work, bro.
Beat me to it.
Okay.
Well, anyway, what? Okay, cool.
What an asshole! Okay, cool. No,
I'm just trying to
there's
get into what you wanted to talk about.
There's no. I think that's an interesting point to unpack, because while yes, I believe it's also work. Cody's had a history of sprinkling in truths to his promos, and I think there is something to be said about that promo, because obviously it was a promo.
I think The Rock I think if Cena didn't come back for his last run, maybe The Rock wanted to turn Cody. Then there may be truth to that. Does Cody want to turn heel? I don't think so.
Well, they're trying to. I think The Rock was looking at it, going, "How do we get our third man?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if we can reboot the NWO all over again, or if you,
Plus, the
you
third
know,
man's going to be Roman. Get real. They're building it with Seth. That's why Seth's on the other side.
you mean the fourth man? They already have 3.
I'm referencing outsiders, but I guess my point was that they're trying to make the big shocking moment, and the big shocking moment was turning Cena heel.
Yeah.
Has the run turned out as well as they probably would have hoped? Probably not, but it's still an interesting run. I mean, we got this great fucking promo from Cena on SmackDown that, even though I hashtag don't watch the product, I still saw it, and I thought it was really good.
It still feels force-fed.
So
It might.
I mentioned this last week, to where when Cena's coming out, he's getting pops. He's like, "Yay, John Cena!" And then as soon as the match starts, boo, John Cena. Like, so people want to see Cena. And they also want to boo him. Because they know, they're like, yeah, we get to see. Well, the thing about it is that we get to see John Cena for the last time. Yay. Oh, now he's a heel. We get to boo him and cheer him and boo him at the same time. Yeah. So
That sounds like a win-win to me. I don't know what to
that's what I'm kind of saying.
Yeah.
Like,
so to get back to Ryan's point, Orton's 100% winning.
oh, wait, hold on. Sleazy put the guarantee. It's 100% winning, therefore it's 100% not happening.
Exactly.
Cody's winning.
Could Orton be the third man?
How dare you? How dare you?
So
I'm into that.
I said this to a friend
Asian?
of mine. No, I said this to a friend of mine, and apparently it's not how you start conversations. God,
here we go.
But I'm going to start this conversation to the 3 American friends that I haven't speak to. So what I heard was Trump said that there's
that's a good start.
Yeah, see?
That's you
So
do not start conversations like that. No.
I had to because this is the information I watched on TV, your guys' American TV.
Sorry.
So Trump said that there's a ceasefire. What's on the go with that?
For what I heard, there was a ceasefire.
Oh, so that's gone now, is it?
Well, that's what started this thing. There was a ceasefire, and then didn't Iran bomb Israel?
No, Israel bombed Iran.
Israel's bombed Iran. Okay, I keep flip flopping that for some reason.
Israel's like Palestine, Iran.
Yeah, and then that's
They tried to shoot us first. I swear.
And then Trump was all like, "How dare you break the ceasefire?" And then
we'll do it too. Why not?
Yeah,
and then Iran bombed Israel, and then we bombed Iran, and Iran bombed Qatar. Now, World War III. So,
and the Archduke Ferdinand has been shot.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, Wikipedia, trusted source.
I mean,
hey, listen, it's a more trusted source than the fucking White House press secretary.
So the heading of the article to read is ceasefire attempt. It's a big article, so I'm assuming.
We did the bullet points.
Yeah.
Bullet points. I get it.
More like missile points.
Queen of the Ring finals.
You're actually missing the one match that this might actually have.
We're getting through it, dude. One match at a time. We're bowling through.
We only measured one fucking match. Take it easy.
But it's one match, so that really should have impact with what's going on.
Asuka and Jade Cargill?
Yes. God damn it.
The Asian's losing.
I was just going to say.
The Asian's losing. I'm surprised she made it this far.
By the end.
I'm surprised she made it this far.
They always get to the finals and lose. It's like LeBron.
Ooh.
LeBron's Asian?
A sports reference I don't get.
Could be.
No? Okay.
Jade's winning, right?
Yeah.
100% Asuka's winning.
So Jade's winning. Yeah.
Jade's winning.
Yeah.
It's sad we wanted a scorecard because the boys don't do Saudi shows.
They don't?
They don't?
No. Oh, fuck. I think they're just against the blood money, and that's their sticking to the man.
The 5 people that fill out the scorecards don't do it. That you're just messing with the people who follow you then instead of.
I mean, you got your own hills to die on.
That's it, and that's theirs. Hey, by all means,
I support it. I'm not against it.
Whatever. And the one time I was going to do it.
Yeah, like fuck you were. And Asuka's gonna win, right? Yeah.
So
100% I was not doing that.
Hey, all this is the boys were like, y'all got too many nukes. Can we just shoot some off to lower the numbers? And like, am I right in thinking that? You know what I mean?
I mean, we have a whole New Mexico desert you can do that in. Come on.
Yeah, but that's not here. Like, it had to happen over there.
Here's the reality. no one really cares about Breaking Bad. So we're just going to bomb the shit out of Albuquerque instead.
I care about Breaking Bad
I do too. Yeah.
and Better Call Saul.
Also true.
Did you finally fucking finish that?
No, shut up. Leave me alone.
They all die at the end. Okay, anyway.
I figured.
I don't know what it is. Every time I try to watch Better Call Saul, it doesn't continuously keep me hooked.
So, tangent.
A tangent on a tangent because
Tangent on a tangent. The first time I watched Better Call Saul all the way through, I'm like, this is way better than Breaking Bad.
You know
The second time I started watching it, I go, oh, so the little Easter eggs that I saw, I know are coming, therefore it's not as good. So,
you know what's going to be better than both of that? Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight.
How can you have a street fight?
there's no streets in Riyadh. They're not even allowed in the street. What the fuck?
Boys, it is Tuesday. I'm assuming they'll come up with some type of new name on a Rehab Ramble.
I thought you were going with it's Tuesday. How dare you take my shtick on being racist as fuck,
Sexist
and sexist.
By the way,
how are they?
Thursday.
How are they?
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's a jihad. What the person from a jihad wins or something like that? Or?
Oh, wow. Jesus fucking Christ!
Wow.
I just said they weren't even allowed in the street, so how can they have a street fight? But Jesus fucking Christ!
Might as well drop the Mega Power shirt. Since we're at it.
Right? Get all the races in. We're all fucked. You know what the worst thing about white people is?
Hey, NXT.
Hey.
I believe in Joe Henry.
I believe.
He's coming back for his belt, I imagine.
I would too.
So, with Liv actually being injured, the whole nonsense. I would assume Raquel wins because of Roxanne Perez, because her rumored is she's getting the belt, like the tag belt.
Roxanne Perez.
Yeah,
I heard they were defuncting them.
Why?
That's not gonna happen.
Because look at all the tag teams.
Sleazy's rumors 100% gonna happen.
100%.
That belt can go to NXT and anywhere.
I agree. I think it would be a bad idea to do that because there's enough women on the roster that they could prop an entire division. Excuse me. I've been drinking too much, you know.
He's been drinking too much diet soda. Oh, it's the sparkling ice. You went to Costco.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
It's been a bit.
Me too. I've been broke. I'm just drinking water out of a Solo cup. That's a white trash.
I love you, Solo.
That's a white trash I am right now.
Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship.
What a segue! Love it. Absolutely love it.
It's not like Ryan and I planned that beforehand.
You might have. I can't wait.
Jacob.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
There was an earthquake that happened over on Heavy G's side here.
Yeah.
What do you think here?
Me, I'm thinking it's fast. I think it's Jacob.
Really? I really think I think Solo's winning here because I think they're going to do the whole everyone's going to beat the shit out of Solo. Or everyone's going to beat the shit out of Fatu and Solo just sneaks in.
Who's everyone?
Are
you got
coming back?
JC Mateo. You got Hikuleo's almost certainly going to debut. You've got
If
both Tongans and Hikuleo show up, then sure. You have a better chance.
I think that's where they're going with this, and this would be a perfect time to do it. Because it starts the redemption story of Jacob because he's gotten over as a face a little bit, but as everyone always knows, the money's in the chase. You know, and I think him chasing Solo and his henchmen make for a better story.
I agree with you on that, but where you said he's gotten over as a face a little bit.
Like without any other story.
Okay. Like he's gotten over as a face.
Like naturally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
But to
there's
me-
been no push on it really.
Right. But like you said, the chase, and if that's the case, to me, the chase would mean Solo would have to get the title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
think-
saying
He thinks Solo's winning here.
There is also a way where Jacob wins and then gets the fuck beat out of him.
I don't think that does.
I agree.
I don't
agree.
think it helps
I-
Solo.
I agree what you're saying, yeah, but there is a way to do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You're not wrong. I'm just saying that there's.
I'm never wrong.
I feel like that there's the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to underhandedly 5-on-1 Jacob and then Solo winning.
Basically, double cross them.
Maybe, well, Jacob double crossed Solo already.
Yeah.
Yeah, Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
2 matches left on the card too that are
Yeah.
announced.
Yay! This is going to be a quick show on Saturday
Whoa,
afternoon, if it
yeah.
happens.
After the-
Afternoon show, and then
Uh,
I get to go see the new 28 years later movie.
Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Because Dominic Mysterio was apparently injured and him and AJ aren't wrestling.
Carrion?
This is the one where
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely, Karrion. Absolutely.
I don't think Sammy makes the trip.
Why?
He's just like, no thanks. Thanks, but no thanks.
Didn't he have a problem going over there before?
Yeah,
He
but
did.
he's gone over there a couple times since.
Yeah.
Motherfucker got paid.
Yeah.
Got paid. Well, I mean, it's
And,
still,
and some religious shit.
yeah. Well, that
It
was,
was
the thing.
mostly religious shit.
Yeah.
But he got paid.
But
Because
they're
apparently
cheering.
there's no special,
But the couple times you've been over there, they've been fucking cheering the shit out of Sami Zayn. So
because in the heart of all of this, there's fucking wrestling fans over there too.
Yeah.
as much as of a paid show it is,
Yeah,
which
this isn't
Sleazy
Collision
will
in
get into
Korea.
the numbers later.
Oh,
It's
Yeah, this isn't Collision in Korea where they were forced. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's actual fans. It's 2025, regardless of what's going on there in the core heart of everything. There's somebody there that are like, I like into wrestling.
They want to be there, and Sami Zayn, whatever you think of him, is still a Muslim Canadian that's making an appearance in.
Yep.
He's their champion, effectively, you know,
Mhm.
and to sit there and deny anyone that would be sad and depressing.
Why hasn't Karrion been wrestling? Has he been hurt?
No, they had nothing for him. But he's doing so much better with his like backstage shit and like
Yeah,
his contracts. Well, actually, Fat Man, the contract dirt sheets. His contract is coming up. Sammy would win in this aspect.
Not unless they secretly re-signed him, or excuse me, or they want to re-sign him. Be like, look, we're using you, re-sign.
I'd like to read a tweet and wrap your head around this for me, people. WWE fans would rather say that SRS, Mike Johnson, Dave Meltzer, R-Truth's own son, R-Truth, and WrestleVotes are all lying about Truth's fire and being a shoot, than to just admit that their own voice is being heard and enacted change in their favorite promotion. This is the strangest shit ever. LOL.
Yeah.
right. The entire situation is strange. And I think that's a good segue into what I think about Karrion Kross is, did you guys ever, ignoring Fat Man because I know he didn't, the Chris Van Vliet interview with Karrion?
Yeah.
Good call on that. Good call on that.
Yeah. One of the things he talked about was him and Bobby Lashley and how a lot of it was like work shoot, but it brought insight to how he thinks about professional wrestling in a way that mirrors what he's doing now.
Right.
And I think 100% plus 5%, just to get it out of the 100% range, that he's already resigned and they're just doing this to try and get a new bid out of him. And I think that's great.
2/3.
And I think, yeah, he's 141 2/3.
Yep.
And I think he's not going over Sammy.
Think Sammy's
Or-
winning?
I think they're going to do this weird, like, Karrion got politicked out of winning and blah, 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 blah. I think that's where they're going with this. And I think it would be an interesting bent to it. I hope not. No, I hope so. Actually, I'm all in on this. So yeah, I hope so. I hope that happens. And
Sleazy don't even know what he wants. That sparkling ice is just making him loopy.
I think, yeah, right. You two get bombed when you drink ginger ale. I think that the reality is that it doesn't matter who wins here because I think it's just going to be a good match and be a good storyline coming out of it. So.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
SC Jerk. Saudi Arabia closes its airspace after John Cena drops a pipe bomb on CM Punk last Friday. WWE to host Night of Champions on Jeopardy.
Oh my god. What's left on the card?
Cena.
John Cena versus
CM
CM
Punk.
Punk for the undisputed WWE
That's it.
Championship.
That's the last one.
Cena wins. LOL.
The reverse pipe bomb.
What are our thoughts about Punk winning but not winning the title?
Only because my head is wrapped around Rollins is taking the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Do I not envision CM Punk winning the belt there?
Do you think Rollins is winning the title at SummerSlam?
Cashing.
Rollins is winning a title at SummerSlam. I'm more so leaning towards the WWE title because the World Heavyweight title is going to get shipped over to fucking SmackDown.
Well, I would say that if you're thinking that Punk would be a good candidate to win, and then have
Cena's not losing the title to Punk. He's losing it to Cody or Randy.
I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so is I believe that Cena would do the JOB on the way out.
On the PPV.
To Cody.
I don't think it's to Cody, though, because Cody doesn't need it. Cody doesn't need the rub. They need a big baby face that's hasn't gotten over yet. Like mega over.
Yeah, they just did that with Jey Uso. He got super over. He just didn't get mega over. The WWE title is going to be their baby again going forward. See, whoever takes out Cena has to be a big name that's already semi-big. Orton, Cody, Roman. You're not making a name I've seen losing this title reign. The guy who beats that name after is the name you're going to make.
Would be a heel.
Rollins is going to cash in on Goldberg.
No, he's not. Goldberg. Okay, let's put this other way. Goldberg's not winning that match. I'll put the Fat Man guarantee. There's a 1,000,000% chance Goldberg's not winning.
Okay. How far are we in the show? I'm clipping this and getting it ready for when that happens.
He's gonna. What's the upside? We talked about this last week. He's gonna win the match and not come back, and then they're gonna do what?
A tournament.
A tournament?
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah, well, that would be the logic because he's retired. It would be the first time somebody retired as a champion.
I understand that, but
Why?
what? Why?
Because he's Goldberg.
Yeah.
No, I don't care about the Goldberg thing. Why would they do it? Why would they have Goldberg win? Why would they have Gunther regain the title to face Goldberg to win the title to then
Because they didn't want
do the
Goldberg
tournament.
beating Jey Uso. Duh.
Or they didn't need Goldberg Gunther with the title. So that's why I'm thinking Goldberg's not winning this match. It makes no logical sense.
The title is what entertains the match for Goldberg. That's why it makes sense.
But to me,
Hunter
that
doesn't have the belt. Goldberg don't give a fuck.
But to me, that doesn't make sense because he hasn't wrestled in how many years, and he automatically gets the title shot.
Because he's Goldberg.
Because he's Goldberg. It is him.
And he's win, lose, or draw.
He
Is
is
Goldberg
Carmelo
WWE?
Hayes Goldberg.
Oh, hey, Goldberg.
Sorry, I have to write this thing down for the sports show before I fucking forget it because I'm going to.
I don't know. I brought this up before. The only person that loses here is Gunther. Because there's no way up from that.
Right.
Yeah, and that's kind of another reason why. Like the only way to be is I beat the fuck out of Goldberg in his last match.
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah, so did Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
But then also you beat the fuck out of a near 60-year-old man in his last match. Like,
Right.
Fuck that old man. He stepped up and he took a kick to the face. He took a power up. This old man wanted to go, and I went, let's go. And now he can't go no more. He used to go. He punches hard, but he can't go no more. I did that. I stopped Goldberg. Because there's people in the tour. Like.
Yeah. I would like to say that most people could stop Goldberg now.
Dolph Ziggler couldn't.
So it's like beating Ric Flair.
Paul Ziggler couldn't.
The Fiend couldn't.
Oh God, don't remind me.
Braun Strowman did.
Brock Lesnar did.
Who did he ever beat?
Right? 39 other men in the greatest Royal Rumble.
So the Saudis, okay. So even if the Saudis are still doing it, they're getting a Super WrestleMania.
Might as well.
The Super Nintendo game.
Super Nintendo game.
Super WrestleMania, the arcade. No, it wasn't the arcade game.
No,
Super WrestleMania was the one before it.
Yeah. And they were different.
I had one of them. I think that was the worst one too.
They were different on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis.
Yeah. Well, you had WWF Royal Rumble too.
Yeah.
Which was more like the arcade version of it. Which was
And Raw was another
that was good.
one.
Raw was
versus SmackDown.
Before those were like WWF Warzone.
Shit.
No Mercy.
No Mercy.
The only wrestlers shared between the versions of Super WrestleMania on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis were Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and Ted DiBiase. Wrestlers exclusive to the Super NES version are Jake Roberts, The Undertaker, Sid Justice, The Legion of Doom, and the Natural Disasters.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestlers exclusive to the Genesis version was The Ultimate Warrior, Papa Shango, IRS, British Bulldog, and Shawn Michaels.
Nice.
That's cool.
I have to look to see if I still have my copy now that I think about it. 'Cause I think I still do. Let's talk about why WWE is doing this show. Or it hasn't immediately pulled
By
out.
the numbers. Here comes Sleazy.
Here comes the number.
Yeah, it's like the Royal Rumble video we're going to do now, but you have the important.
So about a month ago, WWE, or not WWE, TKO released their quarter numbers. Basically, the upshot is that they're back in the black, so to speak. 165 million net income. Their adjusted EBITDA of 417.4 million. That puts them.
That was the quarter.
That was for the quarter. Yes.
That's for the quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they promptly cut some people. Here's my issue. We've got this show that everyone knows they're making about 100 million off of it because it's 50 million per show.
But they're only doing one show this year.
Well, they're doing two shows. They're doing a SmackDown and then they're doing Night of Champions.
Talk about PLE.
SmackDowns do not count in the deal. It's just they're over there anyways. They're doing TV.
I don't know.
No,
I'm sure they're getting the
it is
pie,
because they kept trying to fly back and forth.
Yeah.
Remember, these shows used to be like Thursday night.
Yeah.
and then they do so then decided to do SmackDown. They're
Going
over
to
there.
Saturdays was a brilliant
Yes. Mhm.
Oh yeah, for this, absolutely. I guess my point is, when you are sitting here and you have a war that's basically about to break out in the area where you're sending a bunch of your talent, I have a huge problem with the fact that the company is looking at this show and saying it's more financially positive to send people over there with the potential of them getting hurt or dying and paying off the family members than to cancel the goddamn show.
Okay, so I'm going to interject a little bit on that. Do you think that the Saudi government has any say in we're doing the show or not because it's a paid show? I understand what you're coming from too. Is WWE or TKO can go, it ain't fucking worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I understand where you're coming from. To play devil's advocate, I almost guarantee you the Saudi government's like, it's safe to come here. You're doing this fucking show.
Considering they're currently closed their airspace right now.
Yeah.
They didn't. Obviously, they disagree with even their own assessment of that.
Right. No, I'm not saying that's what they said. I'm just saying they could say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I don't think it's TKO going, oh, we're getting paid this much money. We got to do it. I think it's also
the fact
Saudi
that
government has some say in it is what I'm trying to say.
They might have some say, but at the end of the day, the worst thing that's going to happen is they're in breach of their contract on year 8.
Right. Out of 10. Yeah.
So $200 million to make sure that your show is safe, or your top performers are safe, your crew are safe, everybody is safe.
We're going to send you 2 planes. This plane, no problem. That plane, meh. You make your choice.
Yeah, see, I
one has Vince McMahon, and the other one has everybody.
Vince, Brock, Triple A. Yeah, it was on. Yeah, find that information. It was on that plane last time. See?
Right?
Yeah, I agree with Sleazy. I mean, if you're more worried about the dollars, it just, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, this is just one facet, and I'm bringing the $100 million payoff as part of it. But the reality is that there's a lot more and deeper in there. Part of the reason why I brought up the quarterly earnings is that I'm looking at this from a very different optics. I'm going to make a very big suggestion here, and you're going to laugh my ass off. WWE has become WCW.
Yeah. Okay. Explain. I want to hear your explanation before I laugh my ass off.
Okay. WCW was backed by a large parent company. As the years came by, WCW started losing creative control and became more of a cost center. Despite the high revenues at its peak, when you had the 83 weeks, you had the ballooning contracts happening, you had legal issues, you had corporate pressure to cut losses. You started losing live show budgets. They were starting to cut talent at the very end. And finally, it just imploded. And then they sold it off to WWE in 2001 for nothing, right? We're in the same boat right now. WWE has no longer its own company. It's held by shareholders, a large parent company. They have high revenue because you just heard those numbers. They're number 9 on the top by EBITDA. They're number 9 on the top 10 highest companies by EBITDA in the entertainment sector.
They've been owned by shareholders for a while.
The big difference is Vince McMahon had controlling interests in the company until last year.
Well, was he not a shareholder?
He's now less than 10% of the company.
Yeah, but he was still a shareholder.
Yeah, the difference is he has no control. There's the difference. And right now, once again, revenues at its peak, they just made $404 million over the last quarter. They chose to cut costs, And they say it right in the actual thing. One of the reasons why they did this was because they're cutting costs. They cut house shows once again, and they're cutting once again talent.
Okay, so cutting talent, they do it every year. Cool. The employee staff they cut because they figured, and I did read this, so I'll give you credit for that, that they have UFC and WWE. They don't need two separate people to do the same job. I disagree because they're two separate entities with two separate.
But there's certain jobs that
mindsets.
need two separate.
Certain jobs, but not everything. So, okay, they cut costs there. 100% disagree that it's like WCW. Yes, their revenue is the highest it's ever been, but it's going to keep going up.
We gotta go up and up and up here.
Yes, thank you. But
I have 8 of the 20 names on the plane that got out early.
okay, hold on. Let me continue my thought here. So Turner was a television company who was with WCW.
Owned WCW.
Owned WCW. WCW did not get a cent of ad revenue from Turner because they put it on their own network. WWE gets, a licensing fee and probably a portion of that revenue from these networks.
Well, I don't know. Did you take a look at the Ring last pay-per-view?
Sponsorships.
I missed it.
Ad revenue is commercials, is what it
Right.
means.
Oh,
But-
that wasn't a commercial.
But sponsorships. And that's another thing too. WWE sponsorship money is just through the fucking roof. I disagree that it's they're just like WCW.
There's also another corollary I'll put out there, which is not wrestling related, but it's an interesting thing. One of the other pieces about why I think that there's a big problem here is people have been talking about the 2 point whatever. I can't remember the exact number. I think it was like $2.75 billion that TKO currently holds. Despite that, they were acquiring companies left and right. In fact, there's law firms currently investigating those purchases because they believe they were over purchased because they were all owned by the same venture capitalist firms, Swan Lake. But the other piece of that is it mirrors what happened to Toys R Us in 2017. Because when Toys R Us went out of business, they were a company that didn't have that much debt. In fact, they were meant to be like above the line type of company. When they were purchased by a venture capitalist firm, they were purchased in a way to leverage buyout. So what happened was instead of the company purchasing them directly, they purchased them and then they financed the deal and left it on the company itself. And it left them in $5 billion debt. And Toys R Us basically just died a horrible death because they weren't able to make the loan payments, and the parent company didn't care to do it. They made their money off of the fact that it was basically a write-off.
Again, nothing like WCW, but
this was a different situation.
Yes, but that is concerning. Yes,
and this is what I'm seeing in TKO is that it's all about the quarterly profit now. Take a look at the EBITDA. Take a look at the fact that they're justifying an operating loss at a time where they don't need to. It's ridiculous, and it's Endeavor's leveraging positioning of TKO is the biggest reason why this is a big problem, in my opinion. And I think that this is very close to failing in a way that's very concerning. And I think that's part of the reason why they're pushing so hard on this show and making sure that this happens. That's part of the reason why I'm seeing a lot of this, it's concerning to me, and whatever. Maybe this is all bullshit. Maybe I'm coming from a position of, I don't know the finances. I'm seeing the numbers, public numbers, but that doesn't mean that there isn't something else, as Fatman alluded to before. Maybe Saudi's like, you're fine, you're coming or else. That very much might be the case. I don't think it's that way. I think it's all about money. And when it's all about money, people's lives can quickly be put at risk for the almighty dollar. And it concerns me. And there's my anti-capitalist, pro-socialist bullshit for the week. Thank you.
Do you want
Have
no
a nice
names?
day. Yes, please.
Okay. So 20 according to
Fuck Dave Meltzer. Oh, wait.
Wait, what? It's been a while since I heard that.
that video's too long.
It's like
But that
30
makes
seconds.
I don't even think
So according to him, 20 WWE employees, which included 12 wrestlers, managed to leave Saudi Arabia on private jets without delay.
When was this?
2019.
Okay, we got to guess, right?
Can you guess the 8 names that I have here?
Okay, wait a second. Give me 1 second. One second.
Sleazy's looking it up.
No. We're doing this the old-fashioned way, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we're writing this shit down and see who's right. Okay. Fat Man's guess.
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon is one of the names on this list.
Vince. Correct. Heavy G.
Triple H.
Triple H.
I would assume so, but Triple H is not one of the 8 names that are listed on the Wikipedia.
Oh.
I'll just do an X. 2019?
Specifically, it was Crown Jewel 2019. October 31st, 2019.
So how the
Bray Wyatt.
Of the 8 names we had mentioned, Bray Wyatt is not one.
Wow.
I acknowledge him.
Roman Reigns' name is not of the 8 that I have.
Wow.
Wow.
One's not a wrestler.
Oh.
Paul
Okay.
Heyman.
What?
Paul Heyman.
Okay, then 2 are not wrestlers. Paul Heyman is a name.
Okay. I know the other name then.
Bruce. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, it's Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, Bruce.
No.
Bridges. No.
It's
Oh.
not Bruce?
That's what I
No.
thought it would be.
The other one.
Oh.
Johnny Ace? No, he wasn't around then.
Hey, he was. Wasn't he?
Johnny Ace? No, I don't think he was.
2019, I thought he was. So
Who's the other one? Oh, Michael Hayes. Do.
Oh, God, no. I thought you would have got that from now.
Hey.
No, I'm going to give that Kevin Dunn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Kevin Dunn.
So far of the 8 names, we have Vince, Kevin Dunn, and Paul Heyman.
So the other 5 are wrestlers.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't count. I only have 7 names, not 8. I can't count.
I know one because I
Which
think
is?
this was around this time. Well, it's Heavy G's turn.
Seth Rollins.
No. There's 2 legends, 1
Taker.
wrestler active at the time, and
At the time.
It's got to be Taker.
no.
It wasn't Taker? Wasn't that the...
No.
I know you're not going to get this name because as I look at the card, I don't even think that name wrestled on the card.
What?
Oh,
Shit.
This one of these guys wrestled on the card. The other 2 were managers on the card. And 2 guys left wrestled on this card. The card had Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez.
Well, then Brock was one of them.
This card also had Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman.
So Tyson Fury's one of them.
And then there was a 10-man tag, Team Hogan versus Team Flair.
Oh, shit. Then Hogan had to be one of them.
Yeah.
And Flair was the other.
And Flair was the other, yeah.
Well, I completely forgot that happened.
For the
Lesnar-
better.
Lesnar and Cain Velasquez had a 2-minute match
Yep.
to open this show.
Yep, I remember that. I remember it
Rest-
was super short.
Rest of this card goes as follows. The OC won the tag team turmoil match to be the best team in the world. Mansoor defeated Cesaro. Tyson Fury defeated Braun Strowman by countout. AJ Styles defeated Humberto Carrero for the United States, defended the U.S. title. Natty and Lacey Evans this is the first women's match.
Yep.
Team Hogan, which is Roman, Rusev, Ricochet, Shorty G, and Mustafa Ali, with Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart, defeated Team Flair, Randy Orton, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Drew McIntyre in a 19-minute. I remember that match being good.
You got
And
some
then
good names in there.
And then the Fiend murdered Seth Rollins to win the Universal title.
That's right.
I remember the Fiend. Very well.
Fondly.
Wow. Do we have any other news? Rumors?
Oh, that was the rain that Goldberg stopped.
Is there any other financials you want to go over, Sleazy?
No, that I've made my point.
Oh, I saw something. Somebody was ignorant online
What?
Oh,
No.
and said that nobody left WWE and went to AEW to become bigger stars. And one guy mentioned 2 names. I want to see if anybody else had any other names. Swerve Strickland absolutely became a main event name when he went to AEW.
Yes.
Ricochet is one big match away becoming a main event guy in AEW.
I mean,
I was thinking the other person would be Tony Storm.
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
Tony
100%.
Storm. Are you talking about Ricochet or Tony Storm?
I never even thought about Tony Storm as a whole.
Tony Storm not only led a division, she unequivocally is one of AEW's top stars, full stop.
Can you make an argument for Athena?
No,
Okay.
which is shitty.
No, because it would almost be like NXT with Ring of Honor champion.
Because they could have used Collision for the Ring of Honor gap and got away with it.
Yep.
And they hadn't. You absolutely could have used Collision to do more Ring of Honor shit.
Well, wait.
AEW.
Wait, what about MJF?
He never left WWE.
He never left WWE.
Never left.
We're talking about people that were in WWE and left and actually, like Adam Cole did not. Injuries, fuck that. And that's,
Yeah.
Omega wasn't a WWE guy.
Yeah,
Cody somehow left and we got bigger when he went back. Like Cody
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's you think about their roster right now. Moxley. I mean,
no,
No.
not a chance. Moxley you're running off Moxley's name because of what Ambrose built on WWE for.
I would agree to an extent. Saying, as I'm literally wearing a Dean Ambrose shirt, I think there's something to be said about the fact that even Dean Ambrose's WWE championship run is not great.
No, it wasn't.
No.
But
And I think he's had a better set of runs as champion in AEW. And that I would say puts him higher up on the list. Not much. I will admit that
WWE champion, Intercontinental champion 3 times, US champ, 2-time tag team champion. He was the 27th Triple Crown champion, the 8th Grand Slam champion under the current format, 16th overall. He won 5 Slammies. I think he did pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
How about
And he's been the top of a company for 5 solid years.
4-time AEW World Champion with the Interim World Championship. 1-time International Champion. He won the number 1 contendership tournament in 2020. The Eliminator Series for the Interim Championship in 2022. And the Grand Slam Tournament of Championship in 2022. Fair.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's like, oh my god, look how much better he was in AEW. I'm just saying that he's had a run.
His run may have been better in AEW as like a main event run. But did he become a bigger star?
No, and that's kind of why we're Swerve Strickland left
That's
NXT
definitely
and he was
different.
like good, but Swerve Strickland became an entire person.
Yeah,
100%.
Like,
yeah.
What
100%
about
agree with you on that.
what about Moxley's running mate, Audio?
No.
Swiss?
no, he stayed the same. He stayed the
Yeah.
fucking same.
Yeah,
I
he,
love Swiss.
He,
okay.
He stayed the same. He just had to change. He changed his name.
Yeah, and everybody's like he's amazing, but he was amazing what he was doing over there. I don't like. He's doing the same shit.
The only difference
Except
is
he got a ROH World Title run.
So he's a former world champion.
Well,
See, I'd say yes. See, I'd say yes.
that actually that gives him that gives Heavy G credence to the fact that he's a bigger star now. Former world champion. You never could say that. He was US champ.
okay. So I'm gonna sound such like a fucking asshole on this thing.
Dude.
What else is new? He was US champ when more people watching than he was ROH champ. So is he
You're
a
not
bigger
wrong.
star? Is he a bigger star? So hey, I could take a shit in a box and mark it guaranteed. I got some spare time.
Well, good for you, sir. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else.
But
though.
for your wife's sake, for your daughter's sake, why don't you buy a quality product from us?
Now I gotta look.
You got to look see what movie that's from.
Seven
You're no longer
times.
best
No.
friends.
He was a 7-time tag team champion and 1-time United States champion.
The Bar. We are Das Bar.
2-time Ring of Honor tag team champion, way back when.
Yep.
2-time Ring of Honor champion. A trios champion, uno times.
Uno.
Yeah, he
Okay.
played those.
Oh, actually, let me throw this out.
Throw it. Say it.
Samoa Joe.
Can you?
Yeah. He was underutilized in WWE to me.
That
Oh,
don't mean he
absolutely.
got bigger. He just went where he was supposed to be.
Right.
He was there in TNA. He was there in Ring of Honor. He went to WWE. He shittily got injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
Shitty. He just doesn't get injury prone as much on fucking the indies. Or the semi-indies, I guess.
What about Roderick Strong?
No.
Roddy was a mess. Roddy's still a mess.
Yeah.
Adam! Yeah, whatever.
God,
Billy
fuck
Gunn.
it, fuck you, it got over.
Oh, Billy Gunn. Listen to me, Daddy.
I
No.
mean,
No.
there's just so many. Like, if you look at the current AEW roster, and you think, okay, he could have been good, he could have been good, he could have been good, and they're just sitting
should
off
have
the
been
side. Should have been good. Like,
You had
I
Brian Cage and you keep fucking him.
right? You had Wardlow, huge fucking, like, you had this huge feud in the literal palm of your hand, and you dropped him like a bad habit. There is just so many. Okay, there's one. There is one.
One what?
One guy that nobody said, and they didn't say because
It's a tag team and it's FTR.
no, it's because his run got cut short. Brody Lee.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Brody Lee, absolute.
Yeah.
Brody Lee, 100% would be AEW World Champion if he was alive today, without question.
Yep. I agree with that.
Good call.
Other than that,
I stand by the FTR logic as a whole.
I-
The FTR is another good one.
They not just a run as a whole. They are your. It used to be what if, but now it's like there's FTR is your pinnacle now because they can go anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
they could come back to WWE and they would immediately be a top tag team. Like they would literally be top guys.
Yep.
Top guys out, yo.
Is it me, or does it they kind of remind me of Tully and Arn?
No, they
They based their entire career on
yeah.
Tully.
yeah.
I mean,
hot take. Mercedes.
No. I mean, you could say yes because she has all the belts now, but
No, but she is much, much more well known and a bigger star than.
ironically, not because of AEW though.
Now,
Now, yes.
Because of the Mandalorian.
she was on the Mandalorian when she was in WWE.
Yeah, but they didn't push that as much.
No, they had no time to push it.
No.
Right.
And it was right at the tail end. So then she was gone, did more Mandalorian. She wasn't with WWE.
Yeah.
AEW signed her up and let her push her to the moon and let everybody have her. Only deal is, sorry, we're getting your belt for a bit.
Mercedes
Yeah,
Hogan.
Yeah, she had to give one back recently. And then she got another one.
So yeah, it's like just
because fuck AAA, let's give her the CMLL title.
We're talking about if they became bigger stars when they left WWE. I would say no with her.
Okay.
And the only people, and I hate to fucking say this, who even talk about her are fucking stupid ass marks on the internet who are all like, she's terrible in the ring. Like, she doesn't deserve all these belts. Or she's the best wrestler in the world. Like,
she deserves more.
Yeah. Like, that's basically the only thing he's talking about her. Like,
I mean,
do you notice
what?
Well, I hate to say this, but you do notice that every time I bring up her name, I don't go before it anymore.
Wow.
Because she's not big enough. She's not a big enough star for me to do that.
Wow. Wow. Holy shit.
That's why.
God damn.
That's why.
That's great.
Would you?
What about Big Bill?
I mean, I still would, but no.
Okay, let me throw this one out. This is gonna be hilarious.
This should be well.
Nigel McGuinness.
Kill Switch.
Sadly, no.
Well, Kill Switch is actually a good one.
WWE should have done more with him, but they
didn't.
He sent him to the fed of land of giants hate. That's why I thought Adam Cole was going to be so big. He was perfect.
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Matthews.
I think Buddy Matthews still has a ceiling. I'll be frank with you on that one. Although, to be fair, he's also badly injured.
Yeah.
Well,
he's okay with his ceiling too. See?
I mean,
yeah.
Rhea
Some
did
people are
something to
bit
him
players
in
and he
bed,
knows.
so he's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bit players knows exactly why it's fine.
Sometimes it's why are you in the professional wrestling industry? He's making money, making a shit ton of money.
And Rhea Ripley.
And well, also that's a bonus. Okay, let's be honest here. But yeah, whatever. I'm all in on it. Let him do what he needs to do and enjoy life. Sometimes you're good to make people get over. Kurt Hennig, you know.
I have one more for AEW.
Okay.
About Pac.
Pac's a mess. Pac's still a mess. Pac's a fucking.
I think because of his travel issues, no. Because if he was able to stay here all the time, he would have been. He would have been a former AEW World Champion by now.
Yep.
Yeah, he would have.
I agree with that.
It's unfortunate because the man knows no bounds, but he just can't get going. He literally is all brakes, no gas.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You take a look at everybody that's popped back and forth over. I still wonder why people are so. How should I put this?
tribalism.
Yeah, why it matters so much.
Yeah, like I'll be looking online and be like, anybody that comes from WWE to AEW, they're the greatest. Anybody goes to WWE to AEW, oh, they're not loyal, they're pieces of shit, blah blah.
Wow.
Yes, IBG.
We're missing one.
What are we missing?
We're missing the obvious one. Sting.
No,
There's a bigger star in.
he was a bigger star before he went to WWE.
But that wasn't the thing. You said the star going from WWE to AEW.
So
But
you
they're
can have
bigger
a
stars. You can't be bigger than Sting.
yeah,
It's Sting.
it's Sting.
Like it's Goldberg. Like it's
Yeah.
Austin. Like it's
It's
Rock.
Sting.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it's
Sting.
Hogan. Like it's Flair.
Yeah.
Like it's Taker.
I'm
So,
trying to find
Yes,
something.
the Sting thing just doesn't make sense because he was in WWE for a cup of coffee and
Cup of coffee in the big time.
yeah,
I
he
mean,
won 3 matches,
literally.
3 matches, all he had in WWE. So
One of which was on WrestleMania and was
the weirdest booked match I think I've
yeah.
ever fucking seen in my life because it made absolutely no sense.
Hey, Fat Man,
What?
if Moose
iPhone?
goes 60 more days as X Division champion, he becomes the longest reigning X Division champion in the history of
We
TNA.
need to make this happen. I will interfere in every match to make sure that it happens.
So outside of Slammiversary is July 20th.
That's in a month. Less than a month.
okay.
He needs to get to August.
August.
This is what I'm talking about when we talk about tribalism and no one really knows what the fuck they're talking about in professional wrestling. Okay. Who are these two people? Does anybody know?
No, because it's not on screen yet.
Oh, it'd probably
Yeah.
be useful if I put it on screen.
It's Take a Shit and his new wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know who took those pictures?
Don Callis.
It was fucking like Kyrie, wasn't it?
No.
Oh.
You're close. You're actually very close.
Yeah.
It was Knock.
Oh,
Knock took those pictures. The reason why I bring it up is other than the obvious Japan thing, but the reality is professional wrestlers talk to each other. It doesn't matter if they're in one company or the other.
yeah. It doesn't. Yeah, like say Heavy. I'm a Red Sox fan. He's a Yankees fan. Say I'm with the Red Sox. He's with the Yankees. We're not. This isn't After Dark.
Hold on, I'm doing something.
We're not. And if we're friends, we're still going to talk to each other.
Right.
Like it doesn't. Who cares? They're going. Okay. They're going to. Okay, he has to leave. They're going to have to. People are just going to have to like friends are friends. Like
Right.
they probably train together or
Yeah.
and they're not everyone's going to be in the same company. Like it doesn't matter. Like, Bailey and Sasha, best friends. Bailey's been to multiple AEW shows in the attendance.
Right.
She's there to support her friend. Who cares?
And yet people get weird about this shit. And I hate bringing this up because nobody else here understands the fandom of it, but it parallels surprisingly well, and that's K-pop stans. They will get so fucking weird about their particular group, so much so that they will attack other groups online for no reason. They'll attack certain members if they seem like they're dating somebody. They will. There's a lot of security on a lot of the K-pop shows now because they're getting weird and doing weird shit. Obviously, stalkers are a huge problem when it comes to this kind of stuff. They are here too, but it's way more prevalent in the K-pop world. Don't be a fucking K-pop member of a male K-pop member and announce that you're dating somebody. Jesus Christ, you'll be fucking killed immediately. It's shit like that where it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's starting to happen more and more in professional wrestling, where it's like fuck you. You know, you should. How dare you go to the other company? I hope you die and you get, you know, whatever. And I can't. Mariah May, the whole hate with Mariah May is a huge thing of that.
My thing is like, well, I'd be like, oh, they're going to AEW. Will they be used the way they should, or way I think they should? It's not like I don't want them to go to AEW.
Right.
I'm more like, how are they going to get used in the new company they're going to be in?
We've had this conversation multiple times over the years, but it's gotten more prevalent recently, is the fact that we as a podcast have been around for 12 and a half years now. We're coming on our 13th anniversary, I believe. We have made it very clear that we're here, yes, to criticize, but we're doing it out of the joy of professional wrestling, but also the fact that we're trying to show that this is how you can get better. And we've spent literal decades doing the show
and
watching professional wrestling, doing professional wrestling.
And also, do we have our favorite companies? Absolutely. But do we bash them? Go back to listen to 2018, 2019 shows when AEW first came out. WWE was trash. And we will, when something is bad, in my opinion, I'm going to say it. If something is bad in WWE, I'm going to say it. If something's good in AEW, I'll say it. And I said it before. I mean, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have our mid-year rewards. My Wrestler of the Year and Pay-Per-View of the Year is AEW right now. So, yeah.
And it's interesting to see the change in our show over the years. What was our number one promotion 10 years ago?
ROH.
Yeah. Now look at it. It's a shell of its former self. It's terrible what's happened here. And I think that whenever a company dies like that or is basically dead, I mean, nobody watches it because they paywalled their own fucking weeklies.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck does that? Like TNA did that in their first year, and look how quickly they walked away from that.
Yeah, they said nope.
And the only reason why they were doing pay-per-view, or the only reason why it got so like racy and shit, is because they were doing it on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Once it was on TV, they got rid of the shit and they went full hog on the fucking.
Yeah, a midget pulled out a gun.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
It's like, what the fuck?
Sorry for using the word midget, but that's how he termed himself on the show, so I'm doing that.
I love how, of all the things you're going to qualify on this show particularly, you qualified the midget.
Midget, yes.
Holy shit. If this show ever makes more than one replay around, I will be shocked. Because we talked about a bunch of weird shit.
Tangent show number 7.
Right?
Like,
it was a lot worse this time around, mainly because we're talking about stuff that we don't talk about as much. No. But I do want to. I'll leave it to this because we're out of time anyway. Whatever happens with the Night of Champions show, whether it's in the stateside and they do come to their senses and actually run it here and get everybody back safe, or they do risk it and actually go over there and do the show, and no matter what, I hope everyone comes back safe. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest thing I care about out of all this. There are people that we're friends with. There are people I've shared locker rooms with on that show. There are people that we all know and love over these years. There are big people there. I want every single one of them to come home safe.
Absolutely. 100%.
Heavy G, put yourself over.
You can catch me and the Jeopardy champ, Hall of Famer Fat Man, on the Best Darn Sports Show, period 2, coming up in about 5 minutes' time. We're going to talk NBA Finals. Hockey season's over. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about baseball. We're going to talk about the wild-ass trades going on in the NBA. NHL Hall of Fame. They just had their 8 inductees today. and so much more coming up on the Best Darn Sports Show, period 2. In
And
about
of course,
time.
it is time for my favorite section. The non-sports guy asks the trivia question of the sports guys.
Okay.
This is an MLB question. Which player once got ejected from a game without taking a single pitch or swing, and what did he do?
Oh, I know this. There's been actually several.
There's been several, but this one's the most famous one because it's hilarious.
There was a manager, wasn't it?
No, it was a pitcher.
I believe he was a pitcher. I don't know for sure.
I mean, it was a manager's Earl Weaver. I mean, but
Yeah. It was in 1999.
John Rocker.
No.
Rob Dibble.
Nope. Bobby Valentine.
That wasn't.
Oh yes.
He argued a call from the dugout.
And then he came back into disguise.
Yes.
Yes.
He got tossed again.
I knew. I thought it was a manager that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious. I love stupid shit like that. I'm gonna keep this going because I love stupid shit like this. I'm at TWS Sleazy.
TWS-Fatman.
And we are SleazyFatman on X, Threads, TikTok. You know the places. Like and follow us there. Find our videos at twitch.tv/SleazyFatman, youtube.com/SleazyFatman. That premium stuff on onlyfans.com/The Wrestling Show. Explore more content at thewrestlingshow.com, including articles, merch, so much more. Check out our merch store as always. Eventually, I'm going to send Ryan some stuff. Maybe other people will get some stuff. Who knows? So with a fuck you to Ryan because he left early without promoting. A thanks to Heavy G and as always for Sleazy.
For the Fat Man.
This is the Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Tony Khan and his alleged coke habit, even though it is not alleged. A hot dog's not a sandwich, you fat fuck. A burger is a sandwich.
I have proof.
Burritos.
I have proof it's a sandwich.
You do not have proof it's a sandwich because we're running out of time. Burrito tacos are not sandwiches. Next week, Night of Champions. If it is still going on, you do not win because we're playing I win, and I always win.
Come here, honey.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun.